Welcome back to DIY Willie, and well, today we're on the frontier again. We have another upgrade to the truck. We're going to put in Delrin, I believe that's how you pronounce it, power steering rack bushings. Hopefully it's a simple process. I don't know, I've read a few things online. It didn't come with any instructions. This is exactly how it came. We got it from PRG Products, and well, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. Take out the old bushings, put in the new bushings, I hope. So let's take a closer look at them. Anyway, here's what you're getting. You're getting this material. I think he calls it Delrin or Delrin. I don't know, I'll look it up. I'll have a link to it in the description. And a metal sleeve insert. So I guess it's kind of time consuming. Install can be hard. I know with the four-wheel drive, the differential's right there. Hopefully there's room that we can get this done. You got to take off the skid plate to get access to the bolts. If you have a sway bar, you got to take off the sway bar. This truck does not have a sway bar. This truck has a full Titan swap suspension on it, and we deleted the sway bar years ago when we did the swap. So it is four-wheel drive, and I hope the differential doesn't get in the way. So I'll take off the skid plate. We'll crack the bolts, which I believe are 22 and 24 millimeter, and they're torqued to 140 foot-pounds, so it's pretty tight. We'll do our best to get those off, pull the rack away from the frame, install these bushings, and put it back together, hopefully. So follow along as we do this. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Give it a thumbs up if you like it, and leave a comment. So with that said, let's get started. So looking under here at the cross member, you got these two bolts that go through the steering rack and hold the bushings here. These are the ones we're going to change. You've got this one that goes through to the steering rack for a like a grommet, I guess, or for another type of bushing, again for the steering rack here. And this one we won't be changing, although I wish I had a new one, but that's okay. We're not going to change this one. We're just going to change these two over here. So we got to crack these bolts, and these are the ones that are 22 and 24 millimeter. I think it's 24 on this side, 22 on this side, and they're torqued to 140 foot-pounds. So yeah, it's going to be an adventure. I think I'm going to go ahead and lift the truck up on some jack stands in the front, get the tires off the ground, and that way maybe the rack will move a little easier. There's not a lot of room right here, and yeah, I'm going to go ahead and lift it up and get it off the ground. Also give me a little more room to work. So what I've done to get me started is I've sprayed everything with penetrating oil. Even on this side, I used a wire brush to clean the threads so that they'll come through easy on them. Left them to penetrate for a little while. I have a breaker bar set up over here that I'm gonna use to crack them loose. Like I said, I'm gonna lift it up so the wheels are off the ground. Should make it easier to do. Wow, sorry everyone. I guess I forgot to hit the record button or something when I got the bushings out. Here's the bushings. And I used 2 pry bars and a socket. And what I did, and I'll just try to show you. Oh, wait, I gotta go get the socket. Spike! Alright, so what I did when the bushings were installed, I put the socket in there like that. And I had one of the pry bars on the inside like this. It won't stay there because the bushing's not there anymore. And I had one pry bar on the steering rack like this. And all I did was push it in like that and push this one out, and the bushing came right out like that. Can you see that? I didn't get it in footage, but that's the way I did it. And all I had to do was pull it all the way over, pull the bushing out, wiggle it like that, and it came out. The bushing came out. The bushing's more flexible than the socket, so it doesn't come out that way, but just like that. And the bushing came out. These actually don't look that bad. They look in really good shape, actually. Both of them. Maybe they've been replaced lately. I don't know, but they look pretty good. Gonna go ahead though and put the Delrin bushings in. I don't know how to pronounce it. I'll leave a link in the description for them. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean up inside the holes a little bit with some sandpaper, grease them up, stick the bushings in, and then run the bolts back in and put it back together. Okay, so what I've done is I've taken some sandpaper and I've kind of cleaned out the holes, making sure there's no rust or corrosion. It's aluminum, so it more oxidizes and corrodes. And just blew it out, felt it with my finger. It feels pretty good. Might hit it a little bit more. And then I'm going to take the bushings and I'm going to put some just some general purpose grease on them to help them slide in on both the bushings and the metal insert. Alright, okay, we're going to grease these up, try to stick them in there, see how it goes. Get them greased up a little bit here. General purpose high temperature grease, just use it for wheel bearings and just various things. Should be fine for this. Just to grease it up, make it easier to go in. I've already greased a little bit inside there too. So now I want to pull the steering out, assembly out like so. Get some room to get up behind there and install the bushings. Let's see, we'll do this together. There's one. Let's put the other one. There we go. Alright, that was easy. Look at that. I hope the rest of it goes that easy. Now, for next, we need to put the metal insert in. I hope you can see that, because that just went too good. Excuse the noise. My neighbor's doing some woodwork across the street in his garage. You know, I can ask for quiet on the set, but hey, everybody's got to work, right? Okay, let's try to put this one in next. And the more the merrier, I guess. The more the grease, the better. It'll come off. Let's see if we can get it in there. Just like that. Let's get the other one. I'm all lubed up good. Wow, he is being noisy too. Really apologize for that. He's got work going on too. You know, he's rebuilding his whole house. Pretty amazing. Wish I could do that. There we go. Man, I wish I hadn't. I somehow forgot to push the record button when I first took those bushings out, the original bushings. I wish I hadn't done that. It was so easy. I hope it's explained enough in my attempt to redo it, you know, to show what I did. Okay, there's the next one. It goes on there like that. There's the next piece. We'll lubricate it up. Are you seeing this? I hope you're seeing this. and it goes on there like that. Okay, this bit that we see on the outside here actually goes into the frame. So what I got to do is realign the steering rack to match the holes, and then it'll go into place just perfect. So again, we're going to do it with the pry bars. Get it up in there, and we'll just push the metal piece over. I might try to push this one in a little bit if I can. Ah, no, I can't. That's all right. I'll get it in a minute. And I hope I showed enough. You put this grease away so it's not making a mess. All right. So there's little indentations. If you see, I don't know if you can see, right up inside, there's little indentations, and those bushings go in there. So let's get them in there. You know what? It might help if I have the screws in there. The bolts. You know? Let me see. Put one of the bolts in there. There we go. Yeah, that helped. Look at that. Alright, now we'll try to get the other one. Man, it's got a lot of sand still in here from the desert. Just like that. Just like that. Now we got one more on this side. And we'll put in. I didn't change this bushing, but that's alright. It didn't need it. And we'll go ahead and run these bolts down. Remember, these nuts get torqued to 140 foot-pounds. Man, I got some sand in my eyes. So we do need this metal piece goes back on. Just like that. Now it's not quite all the way in, but as I torque them down, they're going to run in themselves. Should be fine. There we go. There, I was able to push it in just with my fingers. Now the Ryobi, I believe, goes to 110 foot-pounds. I'm not sure. I'm going to run them in with it, and then I'll torque them with my torque wrench. So we should get pretty close to what we need. My hands are dirty. Now the 22 millimeter on the back side and the 24 on the forward side, and I'll run them down. Oh, we're not quite lined up. Not quite lined up. There we go. Now we're there. Let's buzz those in now. There we go. Now for sure we're lined up. Is this thing set on the max setting? Yes, it is. Here we go. Now I'll go ahead and check those with my torque wrench, make sure I get them to 140 foot-pounds, and we're done. Oh, we got to put the skid plate back on, and yeah, you know what? That was a pretty good install. Really easy. These are a lot less forgiving than these are, so the steering should feel a lot more firm, you know, and yeah, I like it. That was a good install. I liked it really well. Got the torque wrench set to 140 just to show that I got it. Here we go. Click, click. Well, this one requires, that light's about to go. This one requires the wrench on the backside, but it's there. The whole thing is turning, but it's there. 140 foot-pounds high. It's not hard. I thought it would be more difficult than it was, and it really wasn't. Like I said, I just used a couple pry bars. This is a 15/16 socket, fit in there just good, just right, to push those bushings out. And I did use a big breaker bar to break it loose the first time, and then I was able to use the Ryobi impact to get the bolts out. And I have my torque wrench here set at 140 foot-pounds to retorque it. So it wasn't much. The Ryobi took it to nearly 140 on its own. So I just double checked it with the torque wrench, and yeah, it's a good install. And I'll go ahead and I'll put the skid plate back on, and we're done. All right, let me get that skid plate back on. It's all put back together, skid plate's back on, all the bolts are torqued. We're gonna take it for a drive and see how that feels. Fortunately, I don't drive this truck every day. I don't know how it feels normally, but right now it feels pretty good. The steering does feel firm, which is good. This truck is Titan swapped, so it's wider in the front, so that gives it a little different feeling as it is. But yeah, oh, that feels nice. That feels really firm, very responsive to the steering wheel. I can't get used to that pedal commander. I gotta I should turn it off. I got to remember not to mash the gas on it, because it'll launch, man. And no clunks, no sounds. Feels really good, really nice. That's a good modification. You know, those Delrin? I can't say it. I don't know why I can't say it. Like I've said already, I'll have a link to in the description of what they are. I'm waiting for my turn in traffic, and we'll get out here and there we go. Spin them BFGs. Now I want to see if the alignment's affected at all on the straightaway here. This will give me a little more feeling. It feels good. I like it. Man, every modification we do to this truck just makes it that much better, you know. This truck had a little shimmy at about 60 miles an hour. And most of the parts have been changed. Like I said, we did the Titan swap. So it's got all new bearings. It's got all new bearings, wheel bearings. It's got all new upper and lower control arms, new ball joints, new inner and outer tie rod ends. The only thing that are the same from factory are the knuckles or spindles, whatever you want to call them, and the brake calipers and the steering rack. Everything else has been changed. So if there is a problem causing the vibration, it could be one of those parts. And well, I just eliminated the bushings in the steering rack anyway. It felt really good. I like it. It could be a brake caliper sticking a little bit, maybe a knuckle, maybe hit a pothole too, I don't know. But we pretty much replaced every piece of the front suspension on this truck. So yeah, it's all good, man. It felt good. I like it. And we'll bring it back to the house here, get it ready for my son to take it. He's gonna take it up to Big Bear to go snowboarding tonight. So I had to have those bushings done quickly. So yeah, I liked it. Like I said, every modification we do to this truck makes it just that much better. It's already handling great. It's really good off-road. Could use a little stiffer spring in the front, but for now, I mean, it works. The install of those bushings on the steering rack seemed to really firm up the steering. It's not as much play in it. It's very responsive and very accurate. So it's a very good modification you can do. It really wasn't that hard. I think the whole the whole time I was under there was about 2.5 hours, and you know, a lot of that is just setting up the camera angles and make sure I've got enough light, and trying different things to see if there's something better, you know. But how I did it worked great. Unfortunately, I guess I didn't press record when I got the bushings out, but I tried to reenact it as best I could, showing you what I did to use the 2 pry bars and the socket to push it through. Very simple thing to do. If you need to do it or have some basic mechanical skills, by all means do it. It's really easy. It wasn't hard at all. I probably could have done it in an hour and a half if I hadn't been trying to get all the shots and just, you know, figure out what really needed to be done. That was my first time doing it. Now I know the next time it just be that much faster. So if you haven't already, please subscribe, give the video a thumbs up, leave a comment, good or bad, I don't care. If you give it a thumbs down, please leave a comment telling me why you gave it a thumbs down. I really appreciate it. It just helps me improve my videos and make them better for my audience. I appreciate all my subscribers. Just recently, before the Christmas, broke 100 subscribers, and I was so excited. I'm on my way. I love it. I love doing this. So yeah, anyway, that's another DIY Willie project finished, completed. It was easy. It was something we needed to do. It's another upgrade to the truck. And well, come back to DIY Willie, and we have lots more projects to go. So thanks for watching, and see you next time. Bye.